waters of Buckland. Folk used to say there was something in the water that made the trees grow tall and come alive. Alive. Trees that could whisper, talk to each other, even move.
Blood.
These are strange tracks.
The air is so close in here.
This forest is old. Very old. Full of memory. And anger. The trees are speaking to each other.
Gimli! Lower your axe.
They have feelings, my friend. The elves began it. Waking up the trees. Teaching them to speak.
Talking trees. What do trees have to talk about, hmm? Except the consistency of squirrel droppings.
Aragon nad no ennas.
Mankini.
The white wizard approaches.
The old world will burn in the fires of industry. The forests will fall. A new order will rise.
I want them armed and ready to march within 2 weeks.
But my lord, there are too many. They cannot all be armed in time. We don't have the means.
Build a dam, block the stream, work the furnaces night and day.
We don't have enough fuel to feed the fires.
The forest of Fangorn lies on our doorstep. Burn it.
Yeah.
Few places have instilled the adventurous with such reverence as the crown jewel of the High Sierra, the Yosemite Valley. Yosemite and the Sierra Nevada are home to the world's largest living thing, the giant sequoia, found nowhere else on Earth. The only survivors of their kind after the Ice Age, these magnificent giants have been rooted to these slopes for over 3 millennia. As tall as a 30-story building, the scale of a sequoia is hard to grasp. Early settlers' first impulse was to cut them down. At least one far-sighted adventurer had a different way of looking at things. John Muir once rode out a mountain windstorm high in a swaying fir tree, just to observe the forces of nature from the tree's point of view. This unusual man used his pen against those bent on exploiting the wilderness. Muir's ideas prompted the founding of Yosemite National Park and inspired President Theodore Roosevelt to launch lasting environmental legislation. Following Muir's footsteps is botanist Dr. Steve Sillett. Sillett and graduate student Jim Spickler hope to learn the secrets of the sequoia's longevity in an effort to ensure its survival for centuries to come.
Jim and I plan to camp here for 4 days if the bears don't chase us out. And our goal is to climb and map the crown of the Washington tree. No scientists have been to the top of this 3,000-year-old being till today.
I think you missed.
That was close, though. You fire a rubber-tipped arrow over a sturdy branch as high in the crown as possible. Get the arrow over the branch, you drop it to the ground and tie on a 1/8-inch nylon cord, reel that in, and then you use that cord to pull over the climbing rope. Well, for me, tree climbing does a lot. It's my main form of intellectual activity. I mean, it's where I do my science. It's also a source of spiritual renewal when I get into the old growth canopy and see the world from up there. And it's great physical exercise. I mean, it does just about everything but the emotional side of life. Once you get up into one of these giant trees, it's really nice to not have to go back to the ground if you want to study another tree. So we rig these traverses up as a way of quickly going across. In the ancient forest, each tree crown is unique. So I was very excited to find out what was going on in the crown of this giant tree. And I climbed around the one side of the trunk and I saw this vast pit opening up. So I got the rope set to the top of the tree and threw the rope into the pit. It was kind of an eerie feeling. I didn't know what was going to be in there. We've seen spiders, beetles, millipedes, bats, whatever. A lot of these trees have been hollowed out by fire, but this was something different. I mean, here was a pit opening up into the heart of the tree with no entry point from below. Descending into the pit is like going back into time. The deeper you go, the older it gets. 100 feet down, you're touching wood that was growing when the pyramids were being built. I kept going and going and going, and it kept narrower and narrower, and I was just like, well, I might as well. Eventually it has to stop, right? And I rappelled in and sunk my feet, and they sunk into this duff, spongy, and it was wet and moist and kind of smelled good down in there. I like the smell of rotting wood. I don't know why. Then I turned the headlamp off and looked up. And the light, the hole, is tiny. And you're 120 feet down in this pit in the heart of the second biggest tree on the planet. Oh, it was awesome.